So a quick thing about normal maps and height maps. The normal maps have the purple look to them. Um, they're basically the big textures put onto there, whereas height maps are black is the absolute lowest, white is the absolute highest, the gray in between is, you can create a slope depending on how you want it to make it. So this would be white, down here would be black, this would be the middle of gray, and you could kind of trick the PC into thinking, okay, well, the light's hitting this, so let's bounce off in this direction. So here's the difference between your normal map and your height map. The normal, as you can see, has each one of the colors really shaded as, whereas this is just a black and white map. But say you have, we'll unwrap this. So say you have a material that you're making. So say you have a material that you add an image to that you don't have the normal map to. I'll give a quick example right here. We'll use this seamless texture from textures.com. And it's just kind of there. It's not really, still looks good. You take a photo, but you don't want to go ahead and use Materialize and go through the time to like really shift through it and then import all those extra images. If you go into your shading, you can actually use one single texture. And how you would do that is you would change this to black and white, adding the converter RGB color to black and white. Plug that into your color through your nodes. From there, you're going to add a vector of a bump map and attach that to your height so that the black and white then changes to here. And then plug your normal into your normal. You now have a really rough, hard to use bump map. But let's go ahead and let's mess around with this. Now notice that your strength kind of shows how hard that's going on, and you can change your distance. Bring up the distance, bring this down. If you throw in a converter and then a color ramp, you can start messing with how low it starts off with going up. So that would be the seams. We'll go one way. Giving it kind of a deteriorated look. If you invert it, obviously it'll make it jump down, break it up a little bit. And it works for the reverse as well. So let's go here into our UV editing. Hit A on here. A, and then we'll scale this up so that it gives more of a look and we can actually see. Now notice how the reverse then reverses the black to the white. Meaning where it was supposed to indent, it's going to be popping out for your seams. We'll invert that. Bring that down, and then of course you can work with your strength from there. Now that's just going to fade it. Let's bring the distance to just a 1. And we'll bring this up just a tad. So it still works when you throw it onto the rendered. And then of course the same will work for your specular. Hold shift. We'll bring these down. And your roughness. You can see where it sheens and shines right here. add a color ramp to this. It'll do the same. Flip it around. And you can work from there. It's fun to kind of pop through, and you can sort of work with these little bits here and there. Add another color ramp. So working with nodes is pretty straightforward. This one was already going there. So we can actually change the roughness. So this color ramp right here will dictate that. Here's your fine tuning for your specular. And then your roughness. Keep in mind this will only work for when you're working inside Blender. But it's a good way to go ahead if you don't want to go and jump through Materialize or jump into the other programs that I showed you, the web-based ones, and start downloading all these different maps. So we were actually able to use one image texture to go ahead and using the nodes gives something that it's not going to be as good, but it's great for some quick detail or concept design. Now the normal is a height map. It is not a normal map. Keep that in mind. So hopefully that helps you guys out for a little bit in Blender. Just a quick tip that I wanted to throw out there. It will not work for Rust. It will not work for when you're putting in games, as this is built into, it will not be built into the model itself. It will be built into Blender. All right, take care, guys.